the strangest and most terrible deaths in the world. Death due to overeating. King Adolf Frederick of Sweden was very fond of eating. He died in 1771 at the age of 61 due to indigestion after eating a heavy meal of caviar, kale soup, salted herring, and a cake dessert. Fleur passed away. The cake in question was made with almond paste and milk, and in fact, due to overeating, he ruptured his stomach wall and died, and became a laughing matter for years.
Delicious classmate. In 1981, a 25-year-old Dutch woman named Renée Hartveld, who was studying in Paris, was invited to the house of one of her Japanese classmates, Izzy Sagawa, for dinner. When he accepted this invitation, he never imagined that the dinner that night would be his. Izzy killed Renée in complete cold blood and cooked her flesh for dinner. He was arrested some time later, but due to his poor physical condition and mental illness, he did not appear in court and was sent to his country, Japan, a little later. 15 months later, he was released from Japanese prison. Warplane and the death of a teenager. A MiG-2300 fighter plane flying in the sky of Belgium had a problem. The pilot and his assistant jumped from the plane with a parachute and saved their lives, but the plane, which was set on automatic flight system, continued to fly and fell a little further to the ground, resulting in the death of the Belgian teenager. Political suicide. Bud Dwyer was a Republican politician who committed suicide in a televised press interview in 1987. When he realized that he would be imprisoned for 55 years for exposing his participation in a political conspiracy, he immediately shot himself with a revolver. Umbrella assassination. Georgi Markov, a Bulgarian refugee who opposed the communist governments for years, was waiting for the bus at Waterloo Bridge bus station in London in 1987, as usual, when he suddenly felt a burning pain in his right leg. As if the sharp tip of a passing man's umbrella had fallen on his feet. Markov did not remember much of that day. It's just that the passer-by quickly took his umbrella off the ground, apologized hastily, and drove away in a taxi. That day passed, but 4 days later, Markov died at the age of 49 after a bout of fever and chills. Markov's body was autopsied. The result was predictable. A small pill was found under the skin of a Bulgarian man's foot, containing nearly 2 milligrams of ricin. Victorious dead. Frank Hayes was a famous horse jockey who participated in various horse races. In his last race in 1953, he suffered a heart attack and died on the horse, but the horse continued to run and he became the first dead horse to win. Death by insecticide. An Egyptian farmer woman, after finishing her work on the ground, drank some water, felt something stuck in her throat, looked into the water container and found that there were many large and scary insects inside the container. She was scared. Bode rushed home and drank the insecticidal liquid and soon died of poisoning. Deadly toothpicks. Author Sherrod Anderson attended a party in 1941. He was cleaning his teeth with a regular toothpick after eating, when suddenly the toothpick jumped into his throat and he died due to the infection caused by the toothpick. Drowning in chocolate. An American worker named Robert Hershey was working in a bread factory in Pennsylvania when he fell into a container of chocolate and drowned. The piece of the sword that went into the brain. Vladimir Smirnov was the Olympic fencing champion who broke his sword due to a blow from his opponent during a match and went into his eye. He died 9 days later due to a brain infection.